What's going on, everybody? Jordan Pyle back again with PYLE Residential in Keller Williams Chicago, Lincoln Park with my preferred lender, Justin Lopatin at Guaranteed Rate. Hope everybody's doing well and you had a great week and looking forward to this upcoming weekend. Before heading into that, we figured we'd give you guys another update on the local real estate market here in Chicago. So things have been constantly evolving. Every week is changing very, very quickly. And we want to make sure that we're the go-to resource for you guys for the most up-to-date and accurate information in the local real estate market. So this week we're going to be talking about specifically buyers and the fact that we are now entered into what we are calling a very competitive market, right? So a lot of properties are having multiple offer situations. There's not a lot of inventory and there's a ton of demand because, as we've referenced in previous weeks' updates, interest rates have remained low. So there's a lot of demand currently in the marketplace and a lot more that's going to be coming off the fence into it very soon. So what that's done is it's created this competition, right? So we want to talk, on my end at least, about 3 things that we can do with you or your agent. If you're working with me, obviously these are the things that I would recommend so that we can position your offer to win in a multiple offer situation. So the first thing that I would like to talk about is just being prepared, right? We talk about getting your pre-approval up front, starting to look at properties online as much as possible, looking through virtual tours, looking through pictures, just to understand what your money can get you in different neighborhoods, so that by the time you actually go out and look at these properties, you're in a position that if you fall in love with one, you feel that you have enough clarity and knowledge around the situation that you can move forward and make an offer on that property. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I'm a huge believer in the personality behind the relationship. And what I mean by that is about building rapport. So me as a listing agent, I think it's one of the most critical things that I can do to help my buyers win in a multiple offer is to build rapport from the very first phone call of setting that showing up to go see that property. I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to be personable with them. I'm also trying to understand, their clients' needs. What are their motivations? What is important to them in the sale of their home? Because that combination right there is going to put personality behind your offer when somebody's looking at 4 different offers that are all on paper, right? It's harder to decipher between which one that seller wants to move forward with based on comfort. So that's the second thing, is building rapport and understanding motivation. And then the third thing is making sure that you're utilizing your team or your agent's team. So in my case, that's my real estate attorney, and that's my real estate lender, which is Justin here on this call, to talk about how we build synergy in our process and in our relationship to make sure that our clients win out on multiple bids. So Justin, maybe you can elaborate a little bit on the lending side, what you do to help position your buyers to win offers.
Sure. Thanks, Jordan. So as you mentioned, it's kind of ironic because a few weeks ago, buyers were, hoping and maybe assuming prices would come down given the pandemic. And interestingly, it's quite the opposite. There's more buyer demand, and there's not enough supply to match that demand. So naturally, we are seeing multiple offers. So to your point, number one, we want to be prepared. We want to have your pre-approval done. That means your income credit reviewed, because the magic happens nights and weekends. People aren't busy during the day, so they look at homes, in the evenings, and on Saturday at 2 o'clock, if I get a call, I need a pre-approval letter, we want to be able to confidently send that out quickly. So speed is important in being prepared. Number 2, as you mentioned, it's credibility and rapport. If a seller has 3 or 4 offers that are all at market value or list price, how do they delineate between those offers? And so, as you mentioned, you're going to follow up, make sure you understand those sellers' needs, how we can accommodate those needs. And I'm going to piggyback with a phone call to the listing agent. I've been in the business for 15 years. Guaranteed Rate's the largest player in town. So we have that credibility, which will give our buyers a competitive advantage. And me calling the listing agent, letting them know we can close quickly, we'll update them weekly with status, and that we'll make sure that we meet the needs of the seller, whether it's a 2-week close, or whether it's some type of circumstance to accommodate them, we'll get that done. So to summarize, preparedness, speed to offer, and then last but not least is having a team that can strategically guide you with some of these intangible values. So the market's definitely picking up. Rates are low. The buyer demand is strong, and it's turning into a fun market right now.
Definitely, yeah, and we think it's going to continue to heat up as we move through this warmer weather, as we've referenced before. So yeah, don't let this intimidate you if you're in the market, if you're thinking about entering the market as a buyer. That's why it's more important now than ever, just to know that you're working with a professional, that you're working with your team to go out there and navigate this process and to be strategic so that you can ultimately get the home that you want at the price and the timeline that you want it in. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Again, Jordan Pyle with PYLE Residential, Keller Williams, and Justin Lopatin at Guaranteed Rate. We should switch places for the day. Maybe we'll see how we do there. But
come on over.
What's that?
I said, come on over. We need some help here, man.
Yeah. But no, I'll stay in my lane. You stay in yours, and let's help our buyers get to the finish line on some of these offers. So thank you guys so much. Have an awesome weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.